move might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kaynah Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, alpha male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
I'm so excited to be back for another episode of Relations. My name is Kaynah Lassiter.
It's your boy, alpha male G-O-D, 51 Spade, the ninja you love to hate.
Yeah, let's get into it. We're going to talk about how far, how hard, and what you're not willing to do for a relationship, and whether threesomes are actually healthy or damaging for a monogamous relationship. Let's go. Let's start with how far, how hard, and what you're not willing to do for a relationship.
All right, so you got to break this down for me, because I can go a lot of different ways with this.
I was going to leave it to you to break down for me, actually.
So, repeat the question again.
How far, how hard, and what are you not willing to do for a relationship?
I guess I would have a question for you then.
Sure.
All right, the question would be, like, what do you look for in a relationship? Like, what are some of the things that you would require that your spouse do that you say that would make you happy? Like for me, I have a couple of things, but I just want to see if I'm in the right angle here.
Okay, so, and this is somebody I'm already in a relationship, so
of
that
course.
would cover how hard or how far. Some of the things that I require as a whole, I think that is the number one on the list, is to make me happy. Now, I know you're specific. You're like, okay, what do I need to do to make you happy?
Yeah.
But first and foremost, on my list, what is required of me is for my guy to make sure I'm happy. That requires leisure. That requires pleasure. That requires respect. That requires such a broad spectrum of different things.
So I need you to narrow it down.
I mean, I would have to be really personal. So as of right now, I like to dance, whether that's with him in my living room or we have a night out dancing.
So if he don't want to take you dancing, then the relationship over?
No.
Then it's not a requirement.
I don't think I have any requirements then if we're going to do that. I mean, I have standards.
Let me ask you a question.
But that's usually in dating.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. We'll try this a different way. Let's say, for instance, like, if I met you and you was 115 pounds.
Okay.
And you gained about 45 pounds, would you knock them pounds off of me?
Absolutely. That covers how hard or how far you would go in a relationship. Absolutely. And I think my thing behind doing that is that I've always...
So who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for him? Are you doing it for yourself? Or who are you doing those things for?
I think overall, you want to do it for yourself. But sometimes you have to be made aware of, because your happiness can cloud that. If you're happy and you think your spouse is happy with you, then you're just living your life happy. It isn't really a demand that you're going to the gym every day because you're so caught up in that happiness. Sometimes it takes your spouse to say, you know what?
You're
looking
fat.
a little chunky. You know, what are we going to do about it?
But you can't see that you fat already. Like you could take one picture, boom, and take another picture. Like, don't get me wrong. It's enough of y'all that got motherfucking camera phones every fucking day, every fucking minute. Y'all take so many pictures. How can you not look at one picture and notice that you're getting fat?
Okay, so put it this way. There's a difference between 20 pounds later and you're getting fat. Or, honey, how do I look in this dress?
They both the same thing.
No, they're not. Let me tell you why they're both not the same thing.
Okay.
The point to where you're telling your lady that she's gotten fat.
No. I didn't say. I know. I'm just saying, how do you not recognize it?
Like I said, sometimes you just need to be made aware of the changes that your body is making, especially if you're in a happy place. When you're depressed, you can point out all types of shit about yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm getting fat. I got a double chin. You could point out all kinds of shit because you're in a bad place. When you're in a positive space and you're truly happy with your spouse, that makes you happy, even happy with yourself. And sometimes those are just endorphins because you're so happy, you're forgetting that you had a weight problem to begin with. Maybe your weight was always a problem, but now you've been swept off your feet. He doesn't seem to be affected by it because he swept you off your feet while you was a little chunky. So you probably would contend to eat.
No, but I'm saying,
I know you're being specific to 115 to whatever, but I can't.
No. I was just saying, I was like, but he didn't sweep you off your feet when you were chunky. He swept you off your feet when you was thinner. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter.
You want me to explain the difference between you coming to the realization that she was fat and not doing it months before? You didn't let me get to the point.
Well, I got the point.
My point is there's plenty of times that this woman is in front of you that you could deliver that message in a different way other than 20 pounds later now she's fat. Because it takes 5 pounds to get to fucking 20. You understand what I'm saying? So while she was asking you, hey, how does this look on me? My point is, have you been paying attention? Because it takes 1 pound to reach 20. It takes a little bit to get to where you were like, wait a minute, where you recognize now she's 15 pounds heavier. Were you paying attention to her on the way to the 15 pounds? Would be my thing. But you were specific to, why didn't I notice? But I'm going to say for myself, because I come from being a chunkier person to now being a smaller person, you can be so caught up in your spouse and the way that he makes you feel that you forget to actually get naked in front of a mirror and say, okay, how do I feel about myself? Because he's so busy telling me I'm beautiful. He's so busy, let's go out to eat. He's so busy talking about fried fish.
What if that stops him saying that you're not beautiful?
That might be a red flag. That might be something to say, okay, what's going on here? He's acting different. I might ask him how I look, and he's kind of like, you all right? He's not really paying attention like he used to when I was 115. That might be a little alarm for me to say, okay, something's changed and something's off, and let me go look at myself. But again now, it took something's off. You got to understand women. It takes them to be in a certain place to start evaluating what their bodies look like and what's going on at home. What am I doing wrong? You only start thinking that when there are negative things going on in your relationship. You ain't gonna come off no cruise where you was having sex every day and we hold hands and I was so beautiful too. I'm too fat. It don't even go together. Something has to be going wrong chemistry-wise or in the household for you to start nitpicking at yourself. Because as long as you're happy, you're not nitpicking at yourself. You'll throw your hair in a ponytail and some sweats. And because your man is showing you how much he appreciates what you look like and what you're really like inside of the home, outside of the home, there's no reason for you to start doubting what you look like. I'm not saying it's right because we should all be very self-aware, but I'm just, from my personal perspective, that's how I got caught up in my own weight, where I was gaining weight. I was with my high school sweetheart. He thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. We graduated high school, and there was no more after school dance practice. So all I was doing was eating, not dancing, not getting any cardio, gaining all this weight. He never stopped to say, wow, you're not the same girl.
Did he cheat on you?
Absolutely.
Was the girl smaller than you?
She was. And guess what happened after that? I lost a whole bunch of weight. So see how that happened? Something negative happened.
So hold on. But that's way too goddamn far.
It is far. I agree. I agree. 100%.
And that's my point of what I was saying. That's way too goddamn far. Like, you done got so fat that you don't even recognize. And the thing that's tripping me out is that you saying that I was so happy. Obviously, one of you was happy. And see, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Like, when one person, I get it, you know.
You said one person's happy, but he never expressed unhappiness. He's just a coward and wouldn't fuck somebody else.
I ain't ask you personal shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying where it went. I'm not asking who was happy or who wasn't happy. Obviously, you was in happy land and that nigga was in fuck land. You know what I'm saying? Now, both of y'all had some wires that was evidently super crossed. And, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you're waiting too long for it to get to that point. And I'm not trying to put it in a way of being vain because you said that you always used to be a heavier girl.
Always.
So I must take it from the standpoints that you might not, from a personal standpoint, know what that's like. Like, sometimes I think smaller women that actually, you know, end up getting bigger, I think they would probably see the effect a little bit more.
Because they're so used to being small.
Yeah, so they're so used to being small. But my thing would be is like, you know, why wouldn't you want to keep yourself in shape to avoid that type of shit? It's like, to me, it's like you waited so long to him to start fucking someone else. And I'm not saying that's right. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to hit a nerve. But I'm just saying you waiting so long and you mentioned that word happiness, and I'm just like, it just seemed like you were happy, he wasn't happy, and a lot of times guys might not mention that because I don't really think it's a way to mention that bitch
No,
your
there
ass
is.
Getting big. Like
There definitely is. And
hold on, let me finish talking. You was
ahead.
long winded. I'm just saying, like, so we in a world of social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, for instance, like I'm on my Twitter, and people always be like, Twitter's boring, but my Twitter's popping. But I'm on my Twitter, I'm on my Instagram. It's certain size women that I look at. If my lady was to walk by and see some of the bitches on my Instagram, I'm not saying you gotta look like that, but at least look like how I caught you. You understand what I'm saying? And that was kind of one of my things about, like, like a female, they want you to marry them. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to marry the fish I caught, not the fish that I reeled in and then it was thin and then I sat in the refrigerator for a long time and just imploded. Like, I don't want to marry that shit. And I want to marry the version that I caught. And I just think that sometimes you, somewhere in lost in translation, you forgot that. I'm not saying he was right for fucking anybody else. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, you mentioned you being happy. Obviously, he wasn't happy. And I think that's just a hard thing to bring up.
And that's where I rebuttal. You saying obviously he wasn't because he cheated. So I get it. Yeah. But there's a lot of communication that should have happened between the gaining weight and the cheating that should have happened to counteract that kind of behavior. But let me because if you're just not happy with who you're with,
but
you're not happy with who you're with.
I got that. But you know what? I have been in relationships where I have mentioned two females that you getting kind of big, and they shut that down. It's kind of like you'll tell them, like, listen, baby, you gaining kind of weight, this and that. You know what I'm saying? What, you don't love me because I done gained a little weight? It's like you ain't even getting like no goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to say this a nice way.
And that's called gaslighting. She gaslighting. She turned it around on you.
And you're not picking up on the signs that I'm giving you. It's just like, if a man, want a threesome, he start hitting around to, damn, you know what I'm saying? You like, you know what I'm saying? You like the way them set of titties look? You know what I'm saying? Like, you start asking those certain things. But if I hit you with you getting kind of heavy, I would just think, for me, if you love me, just keep it down. Don't get outrageous with it. That's all I'm saying.
So, again, I think, for me, on a whole, it's going to level to maturity on both ends.
Okay.
It takes a really mature woman because remember, I'm going to take the word happiness, especially a woman like me and a lot of my friends. We are all about making our spouses happy, down to what they eat, whatever. Making the home comfortable. We want them to be happy. We have to put our fitness on that list.
Of course.
Okay? And a lot of times, I think we get lost in translation because we listen to other empowering women and they say, never supposed to lose weight for no man. Lose weight for yourself. It's all about you. Big is beautiful. Understand that over the years, while people or other women have tried to build us up, it's gotten a little lost as far as what should we do, how far should we go to make a man happy. I don't think keeping myself fit on that list is damaging, as long as I'm happy being a smaller woman. Now, being skinny makes me miserable, then me pleasing you is making me miserable, and that's a problem. But I haven't heard that yet. I haven't heard a woman come out and say, oh my God, I lost all this weight and my life is horrible now. So I think that's been an issue. Women who seek other women's advice, that's one of the things that they say is, hey, well, shouldn't I be losing weight? Shouldn't I just want to do it for me? You're absolutely right. You should want to do it for you. However, because of the world that we live in and because your man is just a man, you got to worry about what else there is out there that he might be attracted to. If that's okay with you, cool. But if you have a problem with him being attractive to a fit person, then you need to be fit. Point blank, period. Because if not, then you're basically self-sabotaging your relationship. Because you're saying, I like myself fat. I'm happy being fat. And if he don't like it, he can kick rocks. Well, he's going to. He's going to kick rocks all the way to the neighbor house where she's fit at. So I think that's been a real big issue. I think the second issue, as far as, and that takes a mature woman. Now let's talk about a mature man. A mature man would know how to deliver that message. A mature man knows how to pay attention and kind of intervene before things do go too far. A mature man would say, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a date. Instead of telling my woman she's fat, I'm going to go get a fucking gym membership from Planet Fitness. It's going to cost me $1 a month to have an every Tuesday, Thursday night workout session with my spouse. She thinks we're on a date on the treadmill. So I get it's a win-win situation. I get a date at the gym and my woman is getting fit. You can't lose. Your delivery there is nice. It's different. You understand what I'm saying? But it would take a mature man.
You will understand what I'm saying in a minute.
Okay, well, whatever you got to say, that's fine. But I'm saying that it takes a mature man to want to deliver a message a different way. And I'm not saying do the whole gym membership thing. That was just an idea that came off the top of my head on how to get active or communicate to your woman that you want her to be more fit. It's not always about, hey, you're getting kind of fat. Because listen, I know I'm a great communicator, but I am guilty of being a defensive person sometimes, depending on what the fucking mood I'm in. You tell me I'm fat, I might hit you back with, I'm bloated, I got my period. That is not the correct answer, even though it might be true, as an excuse. But you understand what I'm saying? It takes two mature people to communicate well enough and good enough to make that message clear and make sure that you can progress with that message. Because if you're going to tell a woman that she's fat and y'all going to end up fighting, she's going to feel like you don't like her, then that positive message that you were trying to give was taken negatively. And that's what you don't want. So I think maturity counts.
And bitches is stubborn. And I'm going to start it off just like that. Defense mechanisms is what I call it. Anytime you suggest something to a woman that they don't want to do, they deflect. To whatever it is, to whatever you say, they don't want to do it. You know, it's like if they don't come up with the shit they self, that shit sound good. I get you, I understand all that. I've been in those type of relationships when I be like, hey, you want to hit the gym with me? No. Like,
damn.
Yeah, for
shut
real.
You down, huh?
Yeah, like I've been in those type of relationships where, you know, I suggest, hey, babe, I want you to, come to the gym with me. And even if she does come to the gym with me, that shit lasting like one day, because the next day, anybody worked out, when they sore the next day, they don't want to do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? If they change their eating habits, like they really like fried chicken, or they really like this favorite food that they not supposed to have, that's gonna go on for about a week, and then right after that, it's back to something else. But the reason I'm saying that is like, and I know it's kind of hard to blend the two. You should be happy for yourself. I get that. I understand that whole thing. But at some point in time, it got to be a check in there for the man. It got to be something that just clicks up there that says, I look like this, and now I look like this. Now, if it don't click, I understand. Leave a comment in the section. We'll review it. If that don't click, maybe that's how you get to where you got, to where he's fucking somebody else, and then it's going to be a whole little thing. It's like, y'all don't have no problem telling a man what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you... But
our delivery, I think when you say that, be careful, because a woman's delivery to a man and what she wants is usually several times before it gets bad, if it ever gets bad. And our delivery is not demeaning. I know mine isn't, and most of my friends who are submissive don't say things that are demeaning that you could even get offended by. Normally,
every female is not submissive, though. Let's just keep this in perspective. Like, you just went through this whole spiel about we ask other females. That's the first mistake. We ask other females, what should I do? And this is something that I really don't even understand. Like, I'm going to give you an example of some shit. Like, my daughter says to me, like, Daddy, I asked my mama about some guy that she's dating. Why? She ain't no guy. I can tell you everything about a fucking guy. I can tell you how he gonna think. I can tell you how he move. Your mama can't tell you that because she's a fucking female. There's certain limits that females just can't hit. And trying to describe how you should keep your man to another woman, or what should I do, to me that shit never works. It get lost in translation, and you're gonna find your motherfucking ass single. Point blank fucking period. Women give horrible advice sometimes. Not all the times, but majority of times. Especially when it comes to some shit like that. And you gotta act. Then you also gotta ask who you asking. Like, is she married? Is she single? Is she at least good in relationships? Mm-hmm. You understand? Some motherfuckers just be asking like they homegirl, and this bitch got 4 kids, been married twice. Like this. Come on, man. Don't ask. That one then failed enough. You don't even need advice from that. You know what I'm saying? At least if you're gonna ask advice, make the shit at least make sense. Now, getting back to whether you should please your man. I'm just saying, make an effort. I'm not saying you gotta go balls all out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it would be nice to at least keep up how you look. Because this is one thing that females also do. Because it's like you're almost telling a man to put up with all this shit. I gotta put up with, now you gain weight. And I hate to say put up with, but I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna endure you gaining weight, right? Then y'all bring all other kind of shit into the play. Like when I first met you, I ain't had to see you in no fucking bonnet, but all of a sudden there's a bonnet. I ain't had to see you in like clothes and shit that I got to see you in sexy attire. Now I got to see you in joggers, these big house coats, like just all kind of shit is going on now. Like, and then you adding weight to the shit. Like the shit just does not make sense to me after a while. So, and then y'all start introducing farting into it's like the shit is too far. We got to put it at a halt. So all I'm asking for, could we at least keep the weight down? That's all I'm saying.
I get it. And that goes in the category of how far would you actually go. And it's weird because I know some very heavy set, confident women that have a form that if a motherfucker asks you to lose weight, you gotta cut that motherfucker off. That they would not lose weight if a guy asked them to. So that's what I said. There's a lot of empowering messages out there to women.
And they're wrong messages. Like, and I hate to say that. And I'm gonna go this far. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can kill me for it. I don't give a damn. You take Lizzo, for example. Oh. She's somebody that I say that stands out there in the world of, I'm big, I'm beautiful, and this and that. Lizzo is the last bitch on this planet I'm looking for after a club. She is the last person I'm ever gonna try to fucking pick up. That shit ain't happening. You can't sit her next to no goddamn Rihanna, Beyonce, shit. Anybody else, she's last choice. I get it. I understand. I'm big and beautiful, proud. I get it. I understand. But I'm saying we got to start coming back to grips with reality. I'm not saying that you can't be big and beautiful, but let's keep a grip on reality now. Yeah, like, you still got other competition out in this motherfucker. Yeah. Like, I'm not Morris Chestnut. I ain't finna walk around this bitch like I'm Morris Chestnut either.
Right. I think for us, because we've spent so much time being empowered, we forget that it takes work. Relationship is work. And I don't think a lot of people like to look at it that way. Like, he should want you for you and love you for you. And we've spent so much time in that space for good reason. Mm-hmm. Because we're women and we've been stepped on and used and we're weak. And they're all good reasons why we've been getting these empowering messages from very powerful women. Mm-hmm. But I think you're right. I think we don't look at relationship as competitive as a job that we're interviewing for. Mm-hmm. If I'm going for a job interview, well, guess what? I'm sharp. I smell good. My nails are done. I want to be the best candidate for that job. A lot of women don't approach relationships like, I want to always be the best candidate for this man. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I hope I don't get attacked, but I really think that our relationships, actually, everything we approach in life should be equal that way. We should approach it like we're trying to be the best candidate for that position. Because at the end of the day, guess what? Being somebody's wife, that's a position. That is a position that you're filling. And there's a job to do. And I think making sure your husband or your partner remains attractive to you is one of the duties. Well, maybe if you say it like that.
Not even attractive. So I go,
attracted to you. You need to make sure your partner's attracted to you. Not attractive to you.
Exactly. But I also want to give another thing, because you said like attractive, but also like one of the reasons, just to clarify, one of the reasons I brought up Lizzo is because of a comment that a reporter said, like, y'all supporting this young lady, but when she got diabetes, don't come back. And that's also what I'm saying. Like, it's okay if you want to be big and beautiful, that's fine. But keep in mind that also come with health risks.
Yeah.
So besides the fact that if I was in a relationship with her, I just want you to be healthy too. I don't want you to just be, you know what I'm saying, like I'm big and I'm happy, you know what I'm saying, with this, like with Monique and her husband. The husband was like, I just want you to live, babe. Yeah. Like, if you're going to lose weight, I just want you to be healthy and lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you around. I love you enough that I want you around.
That takes a mature man to deliver a message like that, which was my point. But you just answered your own thing. It's all in the delivery. How are you delivering the message? But to say that you want me to be around for you forever, you don't want me to leave before you, that's saying you love me, not that I'm fat. That's a clear, way different message. Hey, man, you're getting kind of fat, man. You got a double chin now. I don't really know what to do, like, because I ain't meet you like that. That's a way. I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody going there. I'm gonna say this though. But even though you're saying that's a mature man, but also it takes a mature woman. Like, deflecting isn't gonna fucking make the situation better. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of however I deliver it. Like, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna deliver it with the triple chin shit. I'm not gonna deliver with that. But I'm just saying, like, babe, look at this picture. Now look at this picture. We see any difference?
That might even be too much.
That's too much?
Yeah, that's a clear.
It's crazy that y'all strong in certain areas than more than others.
Look at this.
I'm woman, hear me roar. And now it's all of a sudden it's like I'm sensitive. So watch what you say.
That ain't the way to tell a lady that she's gaining weight. That ain't it.
I got you. I understand, but
that's not it.
But you know why that might get delivered that way? Because some men get tired of all the deflection. If I'm just being 100% real, some men it's like you trying. And you just getting met with just like shit you shouldn't just be getting met with. Like, you should love me because I'm fluffy. You know what I'm saying? I getting all these DMs. It's like, what does this DMs and what does motherfuckers like in your pictures got to do with me? I got to live with your ass. I got to smell your farts. I got to wash this bonnet. I got to watch this shit. He get to see that made up Instagram version of your motherfucking ass. Not me. I don't got to see that. It's like... That's all I'm saying.
I get it. I do get it. Because I'm one of those people that at night, for me, one of the things that I keep covering consistently on our show is the word comfort. It's a big thing for us.
So you get too comfortable.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to tell you why. Even though it looks like we spend a lot of time in hair and makeup, that is a lot of work. It's tiring. I can't imagine a woman who wears a waist trainer every day and has to put eyelashes on every day. Mm-hmm. That is got to be the most tedious and tiring thing. So when you are comfortable enough with someone to say, guess what? These aren't my real eyelashes, and I wear a wig, and by the way, I got a waist trainer on, and you've exposed all that and they stay, it gets more comfortable from there. That's when it's the farts and the burps. And it's like, by the way, I get my skin bleached too. A little bit more comes off every single time, and because people get comfortable knowing that you like them without all that.
I get that, but I want you to put yourself in a man's shoes for just a second, okay? We get to see all these things that you just said. Oh my God, I can do this around my man, and nothing happens. But when y'all get dressed to go to work, y'all dressed up. The people at the job see that shit. They see that, oh my God, you look nice in that dress. Oh shit, that blazer look like it's on you, this and that. The other people at the job, not the person that you fucking, not the person that you dating, not none of them motherfuckers. You dress to impress, and they get to see it. And then you come home to me and snatch all that shit off.
Right, it is weird.
Just put yourself in a man perspective just for a second. Put your feet in my shoes just for a little bit, and you'll see how that. I mean, I know y'all don't get. Men don't wear makeup. You know what I'm saying? We get our hair cut. We do.
It's very simple for you guys.
It's not simple. It takes a lot to craft this. You know what I'm saying? But, and I'm not saying everybody can do it, but I'm just saying that just put yourself in our shoes just for a second. It's like that shit look a little kind of crazy too, because often I could sit down and say, well, who the fuck is she getting all dressed up for? Because I don't even get this shit. Where this outfit came from? I I ain't recall seeing that outfit. Then y'all make up some shit like this old thing. It was in the back of the closet. I had this shit like 2 years ago. But you wearing this shit to your job, looking good, smelling good. Because like every time I go out the house, like my girl, like, well, who you getting all spruced up for?
Yeah, it's the cologne thing.
I'm
if
not
you leave in the house with too
spruced up.
much cologne, it's like, what the fuck you smelling all good for?
The cologne that
fucking
you
wear
bought?
this?
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
you put it on to go to fucking 7-Eleven. That's a red
I
flag.
don't know no nigga doing no shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
I don't
Why
know.
like he got on the whole bottle. Where you going? Oh, to get some blunts? Really? Smelling like that? No, I don't think so.
You know, sometimes that Gucci is just what you need. You spray it, walk through it, and then you on your way to the raw station. That's all I'm saying. But put yourself in the shoes. That's all I'm saying. And is it just enough?
I think women
Is
have to
enough.
remain competitive. And again,
There you go.
I'll be
that.
willing to go live and
Keep
defend
competitive.
myself if women have problems, like I said, because we've been talked to and built up to be confident and happy within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also been taught that love is the opposite of competitive. Love shouldn't be that way. He should love you no matter what. I am gonna go out on a limb and say that's bullshit. It is bullshit. I'm agreeing with you tonight. I think women should remain competitive. I think they should always want to know what's going on at work. What do you know?
how many-
You should want to know everything. You should be delivering lunch. If somebody had a sandwich that looked great, you should want to know where that sandwich fucking came from, just because it looked great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a competitive world out there. You have to be just as competitive in your relationship as you are at work, as you are buying your mink lashes. You know when they come in and how fast they go. So guess what? You already got your appointment set. You got them pulled out. You got to be that meticulous about your relationship and about the love that you supposedly are protecting. You have to go hard. You have to go far. And there shouldn't be a lot of things you're not willing to do if the relationship is worth
There's
it.
some shit I ain't willing to do.
There's a lot of shit people aren't willing to do, including threesomes. We're going to switch gears right into the second topic of the night. Are threesomes healthy for a monogamous relationship? Actually, are they healthy or damaging? So are they healthy for monogamy or damaging for monogamy? And this is one that I don't know whether we're going to have opposing views on. But
we will.
okay, well, I'm going to let you start then. What do you think? Do you think threesomes are healthy or damaging to monogamous relationships?
I know a lot of y'all think I'm going to say they healthy. Just because I'm alpha male. But I'm going to go this route. It depends on the individual. Every man can't handle a threesome. Every man isn't deserving of a threesome. And you have to know your spouse. First and foremost, to be in that type of space, the key thing here is jealousy, which is a hard thing. Jealousy is what can kind of break or make the situation what's going on. Like if your spouse, well, you know, like my spouse, if they're not into women, like that shit ain't gonna work. That's just plain as it go. Like I have people who ask me sometimes, like, how do you get your lady into threesomes? And I want to. Sometimes if your relationship didn't start that way, it's kind of hard to bring that woman over to unlock her mind to be like, I should bring this motherfucker some pussy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to do. So you have to know the individual that you with. Can you sway them? Can that happen? That's going to have to be a real serious sit down, because
I think when you say the word sway, it's already negative to me, and so I'm going to go with damaging. If you have to sway somebody, you have to convince them to do it. Let me not use the word.
Damage. Well, let me not use the sway. That's why I say you sit down and talk. If y'all can sit down and hold a conversation about having a threesome, your very first question is, and for guys, sorry to tell you this, it's gonna go with the way that the woman actually feels. If the woman is if she's just not into it, if she's not into women, if she don't like women, it's probably gonna be a bust. Like I don't care how much talking that you do, it's just like, you might need to switch women.
Well, I think for me, I'm gonna say I disagree. because threesomes don't have to be completely physical. So if she doesn't like women,
Well, we're talking
you can
about
still have a threesome and watch.
Well, we're talking about physical, and that's not a threesome.
That is a threesome.
No, that's voyeurism.
But there's still 3 people there. She could technically check that off as she had.
Oh, you talking about her watch me fuck someone else?
Yeah, there's 3 people there, and that's just her level of participation. Threesomes could be anything you want them to be,
but see,
as long as it's 3 of y'all.
But that's where it comes back to the jealousy thing. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of something. Okay, I go to this club. You know what I'm saying? And this woman there says that, this white woman too. She was like, my husband likes seeing me with black guys. Now, for me, I just don't feel comfortable with that. Even though I would have been fucking her, just someone else in the room, and this is coming from a standpoint of a guy, just somebody else in that room watching me fuck the wife, I just don't feel comfortable.
It's still
for
technically
me
a threesome. But for him...
Even actually if it was a goddamn threesome.
But that's what we're talking about.
I get that, but I'm just saying, for me, that don't feel comfortable. And now I'm going to flip it. For a woman, a lot of times, that's why I said that it's a matter of you knowing your spouse. She might not feel comfortable because I've been in situations where women have told me, I would try the threesome, this and that. And after the threesome was over, it's just like the energy in that room was so different. Because she thought she really wanted to do that threesome. And then once the act took place.
That's why if you have
in her mind. I didn't swear though. I didn't swear though. I just asked and she agreed.
Okay, but again, if you asked and she just agreed, fine. But I think if you had a really deep conversation about it, then you would just see that she's agreeing with you because she's trying to pacify you. And a woman that's doing it just to pacify a man is all be damaging.
So remember about the conversation we just had about being fat. See, a lot of times with women that y'all go so far to please, that don't always come off to a guy. You understand what I'm saying? We pitch it. You know, we hope for the best. Got to shake the dice. Roll. Hope you don't crap out. But sometimes you do. And you crap out at the wrong times. Because I didn't sway. I didn't do any of the things. Actually, in this particular incident that I'm talking about, she actually had a girl that was trying to pursue her or whatever, this and that. That's actually how we got to the conversation of a threesome. I'm like, damn, you got a girl trying to, get you in the bed? Won't I double dutch on in and let's just see how this thing works out. But that wasn't swaying or anything like that. Just me making a statement. I waited for the reaction.
Okay. You shouldn't be doing things that are considered outside of your character. Okay. You're a monogamous person, correct?
Okay. No, I'm not.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the subject of monogamy. If you're a monogamous person, should you be doing things that are not of a monogamous character?
Let's tackle this a different way. Okay. Human nature. I just watched this docuseries, Tiger King. You got human beings that basically watching wild animals. Their habitat is going to be no matter what. You can't change it. No matter how much they try to train them, how much they try to put them in cages, no matter this young lady stuck her arm in there, and by human nature, he took that motherfucker off. When we talk about men, I'ma say I don't really think no man is really monogamous. Everybody have their different views on what monogamy actually is. And even though you're talking about monogamy as a whole and bringing threesome in, it's like I feel in today's society, especially something that was taught by Christianity, they try to train a man's thoughts into being just monogamous. And that's how you have a lot of men who actually cheat because their nature itself cannot be monogamous. I know that sounds good to a lot of women. It actually sounds good. They be like, they want you to want only this individual. They only want you to want them. They want you to eat a box of grits every day. Just doesn't happen. I like grits, but I don't want the motherfuckers every day. It's just one of those things that I just, hey, pizza might be your favorite, hamburger might be your favorite, whatever the case may be. Eat that motherfucker 375 days, you'll be tired on day 60. That's just what it is.
Probably before then.
So, your pussy, I don't want that shit every day either. Mm-hmm. You know, I know you want me to desire you. I know you want me to want it. So when you say, like, can it be damaging or could it be helpful? It just depends on what you want out of the relationship. Some women are fine with knowing that they man cheat. I meet women all the time that say, as long as it don't come into my house, long as that bitch don't call, long as I just don't, it's not brought to this forefront, they fine. Right. And they can operate just fine. Certain females like to go looking for it. But the reason you're looking for it because you know your man. Right. Whether you know it or not, you knew you brought a tiger home. And that motherfucker wants some Frosted Flakes somewhere else. Not yours. So that's, and I know this is more geared towards women, but you know what? There are also... It's not geared more towards women because... I think the jealousy part that you brought up, or the jealousy... That's not true. Things like that. That's not true. Okay, so you're giving it equal to men and women. That's absolutely not true because... Like I said, just because you're saying threesome don't necessarily have to ride that way. They sure don't. If you ask a woman and she said, yeah, I want to have a threesome, what happens if she says, I want the other person to be a man? Well, the man now has to deal with whether he wants to see his woman with another man. So this is why I said, man, woman doesn't matter. The issue of them being a monogamous person matters. If you truly sit down with me and I say, okay, you have to choose. Are you a monogamous person or are you a whatever else there is to be? So we're not mentioning different subgroups of sexuality. Mm-hmm. Are you monogamous? If the answer is yes, then it really doesn't matter. Because you've already checked that box. I'm monogamous. Mm-hmm. So threesomes, whether it's voyeurism, you going on a date with another woman, or vice versa, isn't going to work. Because I'm a monogamous person in my spirit. And I think there are men out there that are monogamous. Is it hard to come by? Hell yeah. But I've actually met some women that said they asked their guy for threesome. That, hey, let's bring home another woman. And they said no. That they would not have no threesome with the partner that they're with. But and that goes down to jealousy, and that's what I said. Like, I don't even know if they're jealous, other than they're just a monogamous person. Everybody isn't this person that needs to have multiple partners. There are some people on the planet in that situation that are truly monogamous, and some people are. Yeah, I'm gonna say more women more than men. A lot of time with men, it's just sex is ego. And that's just really how it goes down with a man. Like, even though you could plant that scenario and say, well, he just might be monogamy. The thing about men is men are competitive by nature. Even if it boils down to a woman. A man don't even want a woman to outdo what a man can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take a poll and say, well, hey, who eat pussy better, women or men? You gonna see the fluctuation of that shit so depending on the people that's marking the box. Yes, the people that's marking the box. But I've seen it play out in a lot of different ways where some women say, well, a woman knows a woman's body better, so this woman should be able to eat pussy better than a man. Mm. Well, that's almost like saying, well, shit, because I got a dick, I should know how to suck dick better than a fucking woman. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Like, I've seen those type of scenarios. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is what it is. Hey, I've heard a lot of gay men say that, but I'm gonna say this: I know a guy personally who I feel like is great for polyamory. He should be out having threesomes. Is who he is. He got married, and he just said, "My wife isn't ready." Well, that's what would you do in that situation where it's like you go into a situation knowing you're not monogamous. You get in a relationship and marry someone who is monogamous, and you aren't completely scratched out. Now, it's not erased the possibility of having a threesome. Mm-hmm. You're just saying to yourself, not yet. She's not ready yet. And now you're accumulating all this married time, being monogamous, waiting for the right moment to say, listen, I'm not really monogamous. I want to have a threesome. How did you think that would go? There's someone I know that in that situation right now. I call that settling. Really, at the end of the day, a lot of people I find in relationships start settling. I can't go that far. I kind of try to put the cards out on the table immediately so we don't run into no motherfucking javelins or anything like that as the shit's being thrown. Yeah. I don't want to do that. I try to at least make sure that we on the same page. I ain't gonna be fucking you and just you. Can you deal with that? Yes. We could probably we should be able to carry along.
And that's that conversation I'm talking about that I think everybody should have.
But that's what I'm saying.
Are you a monogamous person?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody don't. You know, like some people are not really honest with themselves. Like a lot of times, like good example is like people sometimes worry about the translations of what actually going on and just not facts for whatever reason. You know, they take shit to their ego, take shit to their pride, or whatever this and that. Last episode, I said, you asked me, hey, is 20 a lot for a woman to have sex with? I told you, if you leave your hands, then it's a lot. A lot of people, y'all had some people that probably made different type of comments.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something that goes with just facts. 1 is 1. 2 is a couple. 3 is a few. And 10 is a lot. I don't give a fuck on what planet you on. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. Now, if you want to take a fucking situation with it on your personal thing, that's you. But the fact fucking remains the same. Period. On any fucking planet. People be concentrating on the wrong thing. If there are some men that don't mind, and there's some women that don't mind. But at the end of the day, you just have to concentrate on that. Some people just let shit go by because that's just their nature. The person probably don't want to. You want the person to come over. Well, what if the person never comes over? That's
then
like
that you just settled and that you're stuck in a marriage where you're not.
But that's like me saying that's like me saying my wife decides to do crack. Well, guess what? The bitch is gone. I don't do crack, so she can't be in this motherfucking house.
Right, exactly.
Shit got to get nailed down. Shit gonna be probably start missing. Like. We have grown apart. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it gotta be some point in time when you pull it. Now, if I'm not, and I know I pulled an extreme measure, but what I'm saying is like waiting for somebody to come around to your animalistic shit. Sometimes it just ain't that. Like that's like me. Like I like horrors. My lady don't like horrors. I ain't finna stop watching horrors, so she just goes in the room.
Right.
It's not so extreme that she can't be with me.
But take that now, what you just said. My partner doesn't like horror movies. I'm not going to stop watching horror movies. So I'm going to watch my horror movie. She's going to go in the room. I want you to turn that now into a sexual situation where you've told your partner, I'm not monogamous. I don't see myself tied down to one person. I'm really a person that has threesomes. She isn't. She's a monogamous person. You know, so for her to be in that relationship,
you won't get past the first date.
I understand that, but there might be some couples who have an arrangement like you just said. Just because you're monogamous doesn't mean I stop living my life. I'll agree to be with you. I'm non-monogamous. That's what I'll use. I'm a non-monogamous person. You are a monogamous person.
Me personally, I still don't want to know somebody like that. I still feel like I'm settling. For me, I want us to be pretty much in the same space of where we're doing the same activities. You get what I'm saying? It's just like
fair enough.
It's like
you don't want to send me off to go have.
It's just like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's like your girl smokes cigarettes, you don't smoke cigarettes. It's like them shits just don't mix.
It doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, that ain't gonna mix. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want my lady to participate. You know, like just because I'm non-monogamous, I want her to be non-monogamous too. So I tackle that, at the very, very front door. Some people can let it go by, but I think a lot of people, like I said, they just go into a settled situation. So whether it's damaging or not, it goes right back to initially what I said. It becomes damaging if y'all are not, one, the same type of person, or two, hold that conversation and see if y'all are somewhere close in the vicinity.
And I'm super glad that we're having this conversation because me being a woman in power, I say, and the reason why I say that is because I have a platform. I speak, and a lot of women listen to me, and a lot of women call me personally for advice. So a lot of the time, since we've been doing the show, with me being open about me being a polyamorous person or a non-monogamous person, I felt weird at first because I'm like, this isn't for everybody. Just like smoking marijuana ain't for everybody, drinking ain't for everybody, having threesomes and shit ain't for every relationship. It's not for every person. But I felt like I was talking about it so much that it was almost like preaching to this monogamous world that y'all are all wrong and every woman should give her man a little ass every now and then. I felt really guilty about that.
So let me ask you the biggest question of them all. This would be the biggest question of them all. Would you say that men are monogamous? For the most part. Not every man. Just for the high percentage.
No, I would say they're not monogamous.
So what would you say to the women that are monogamous that constantly get cheated on? And this is just because they won't open up their world to a threesome lifestyle. So what do you say to the women that constantly get cheated on, constantly getting babies dropped on them? Just in general, what do you say to them?
I would say, ask.
Would you say the threesome thing works? Would you push that?
I was just saying that I don't want to push that on everybody. I never want to give that as a universal message. I'm happy. I think it solved my issues with men, okay. But that's not for everybody because everybody isn't non-monogamous like myself. Mm-hmm. The question is going to be, first of all, to those women, my advice would be in the dating stage. The question is, have you ever cheated? That's stupid. Don't ask that. You should replace that question with, are you a monogamous person? Now, if you live in Daytona, most of the people will probably say, well, what is that? So make sure you look up the definition so you know what to say, the definition of monogamy. If they are not a monogamous person, if they could tell you the truth then after you tell them the definition, and if they say no, then you have a choice to make. Should I proceed with this relationship and get hurt, or should I just find someone else? I'm monogamous. I know the answer to my question. I'm a monogamous person. He just told me that he wasn't. So basically, if you decide to go forward in that relationship, that is what I call self-sabotage. You are sabotaging yourself. You are going into a relationship where a person has looked you in your face and told you, I'm not a monogamous person. I like to have threesomes. I like to sleep with men, whatever. Whatever their thing is, they've told you. They've told you. So you can't expect for them to now get into a relationship with you and not do any of that shit. Either you're going to join them in their world or your world is going to fall apart. That's my advice. Stop self-sabotaging yourself by leaving that question off the table. And I'm not saying women are stupid by leaving that question off the table. I don't think they knew to ask. It's always been about, have you ever cheated before? That's the wrong question to ask. Are they a monogamous person? Because a non-monogamous person isn't a cheater. They're just non-monogamous. They're not a person that could be with one person. You call it cheating because you refuse to acknowledge that you're with a non-monogamous person. He isn't a cheater, baby. He's just non-monogamous. That's his character. That's who he is. And you can't change who a person is. People pretend to be monogamous to get what they want. You just look so fine and you make a lot of money. I don't want to pass up on this. So yeah, I ain't never cheated. That's a lie. Of course he's cheated. Yeah, I'm monogamous. That's a lie. He isn't monogamous because his ass has cheated on somebody before. In most cases, if you have stepped outside of your relationship, I'm talking to you. If you are a man or a woman listening to this podcast, if you have been in a relationship that you have stepped outside of and you have consistently done this on a consistent basis in every relationship that you have, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say you, sir, or you, ma'am, are not a monogamous person. You are in fact non-monogamous, and you just need to hook up with somebody who's non-monogamous or who doesn't mind being in a relationship with a non-monogamous person. Problem solved. Unless you of course get lied to, and at that point it's not your fault because someone lied to you and told you they were monogamous and they really weren't. I think that should be a part of, have you been tested for STDs? Who's the last person you had sex with? All them fucking questions, and we're not asking the right one. Are you monogamous or non-monogamous? It's very simple. You could end a lot of questions right then because they're going to tell you up front which box they choose.
I like it.
I like it too. There's a lot of stuff
I do like it.
Good.
Only thing is, now my other question is, but why, going through that whole thing, if somebody hears that, and then the question is, why wouldn't you push a threesome thing to them if that is going on. Only reason I ask is because it's kind of like averages, law of averages. I think from the beginning of time, you always often hear about men who cheat, have multiple women, orgies, threesomes, whatever the case this is, and that has been going on since the beginning of time. But women, for some reason, still search for that one individual and then try to pin that person to just love me. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you open them up to it? Just because you say you didn't want to preach to them, but...
Because, again, it's not for everybody. I had an experience where I was smoking weed, and I was by myself. I was just smoking, and I happened to be reading the Bible at the same time. And I caught myself and said, wait, this ain't right. I'm smoking reefer and reading the word? That don't seem like it go together.
That does seem like it go together.
Okay, let me finish.
What are you talking about?
So I'm like, I happened to I closed the Bible because I was like, I shouldn't be doing this together. And then I happened to say, Lord, forgive me. You know, I'm smoking the weed and having a conversation with you, and I feel like that's offensive to you. And then I heard a voice said, open the book. So I opened the book and looked down, and it said it's not what goes in the body, but what comes out. So since I don't get high and be stupid, it's okay. Okay, but I also feel like this. I can't go tell everybody that story. So I can't have a young person come up to me and say, hey, Miss Kaynah, should I smoke weed? I shouldn't say, you know what? It's not what goes in the body, it's what comes out. And turn him into a fucking weed head. The message isn't for every person. It depends on the people you're talking to. So the question is, if you are a monogamous person, I'm not going to tell you to go have a threesome. You just told me that you're monogamous and you don't believe in it. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing I can say to you to make you okay 3 years down the line when you have a threesome and regret it. Mm-hmm. Don't do it if you're monogamous. That's why I don't want to preach that. So do you believe if it's healthy? Fine.
So do you believe that they can be monogamous without not trying it first before you just tell them just to stop? I mean, don't try it.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that if they're in a relationship with a non-monogamous person, if the relationship is worth it, if that person is worth it to you, if the relationship holds some value, then it's worth giving it a try. Now, if the consequences are negative, then you just have to swallow that because you knew. I'm monogamous, he's non-monogamous. Yes, I went over to his world, it didn't work out. Then you both should just wash your hands of it. You tried it. I wouldn't tell anybody not to be open-minded, but I also don't want to give the message to the masses saying having threesomes is the only way to go. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
We got to be fair here. That's what we do on Relations. We're here every single Friday. You'll get a new episode. I want you to follow me on Facebook, on IG. I also want you to follow me on Twitter at Kaynah Lassiter.
It's your boy. Hit me up on both platforms. 51 Spade on Twitter and IG. Leave your comments down at the bottom of the YouTube page. You can't answer the questions if you don't leave them for us. So click like. It's easy. Do it. Help the channel grow. I'll holler at you.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Peace.